nice pace, Jerry. How far is it run by? It looks short from our angle.
Almost 5 feet right there.
Okay, okay.
That's longer than the one Minji had.
Interesting. Let's go to 3.
Yeah, with Ayaka Hoodaway.
On 5-3 is the number to the flag, off a little upslope. Wind helping a yard. Oh, that's all over it. What a shot.
Yeah, 8 top 10s this year on the Japanese tour. She's won 4 times since turning pro just 2 years ago.
And Lydia's learned something there, has she not?
Certainly. Not that she needs to be taught anything. Her touch is just, I just marvel at it all the time. She hits the ball on these tough putts like this, typically with diving speed on the top lip like no other player I've seen in a long time. And she doesn't have to deal with that initial uphill portion. That was a pretty bad misread. Speed pretty good though.
Not her best. It'll be Yulimi's turn to maybe put a bit more pressure on Lee 6 and close that gap by 1 shot. It's currently a 5-shot lead for Lee 6. That's a great shot, isn't it, through the trees there.
Is there a plaque saying Tom slipped in?
Oh, that is harsh. I'm never gonna be able to forget it.
2 great looks for Yulimi. Should be little doubt what this will do.
Oh, just moved the other way at the hole.
That's more than 4 feet past as well.
She really struggled at the beginning of the year. Yulimi kind of took her by surprise the way she was hitting the ball, but she's got it under control. Let's go to 3.
Looks a decent lie for Minji Lee.
1-2-5, ball below her feet. Difficult to access this pin from that position because it's tucked on the left-hand side, way at the back. A little short, perhaps.
Yeah, indeed it is. That's going to be a very lengthy putt. Such a long, skinny green 3.
Back over to the second. You can get a sense there of the humps and bumps in this green.
Big putt here. As the holes click by, every one of these 5-footers and around that distance just gets more and more pressure packed, more and more important. And here she can put the pressure back on her fellow competitors. If she makes it, says now it's your turn to work.
Trouble at all for Lee 6. There's a 3 at the second, so she remains at 19 under par, and the lead will be at least 5 shots heading to the tee at the third. Yulimi has got to make this to remain 5 behind.
Excellent putting stroke from a technical standpoint. Yulimi has. You don't find many bad putting strokes out here. But I really like the way she keeps the face square on an inside path and has a nice acceleration through impact.
Yeah, snuck in the right side in the side door.
Nice catch.
And Lydia Cohen will just need to clean up. Trying to become a teenage major champion. Lydia Cohen knows a thing or two about trying to do that. Okay. I feel like we're getting back to those days though, where Lydia Cohen is starting to sort of become the player that she was, in a sense. You know, she went through a period where she struggled with her game, and now it's great to see her back and in the hunt, although she's got a lot of ground to cover.
Third tee, Zhang only 6, still has that 5-shot lead after this final group. All made birdie on 1, they all made pars on 2. She's played this hole 1 over this week. That is in some trouble working off the mountainside there. Off that big hill to the left of this third fairway. Lee 6 watching on intently. Trying to get a gauge of what type of lie she's drawn ahead. This is Audrey and then Arunkarn up ahead on the third green. And you see just how severe the contours are in these green complexes. Rolls right back to her feet. She's going to gather herself.
We've been to that first cut, so this has second.
I think the play has to be just a little bit long here. There's a little backstop that you can use.
Yeah, just hopping into that rough. It didn't get a big enough hop forward. Still a long second shot. Just go back to the third.
A birdie putt of sorts for Minjee Lee.
Outside chance, big swing from left, right, all the way up the slope. Certainly got the pace. Maybe the line.
Oh. What an effort from Minjee Lee.
I think the flag kept that out.
Not sure.
I'm not a fan of leaving the flag in. I think it hurts more than it helps, personally.
Well, you can see Minjee Lee stay at 12 under. It's fully 7 shots behind Zhang Lee 6. And then Arukan struggling there. Lee is going to make a par. This for birdie for Hoodaway.
It's got to be left edge all day long. Great opportunity.
So that gets back the drop shot at the first. Into a share of 5th now.
Third shot now for Ingy at 4. Choosing to chip it. Wise choice. Almost dropping it. That would have been a third birdie in 4 holes. Still, par's actually a good score here on a tough hole. Look how close that came. Caught so much of the edge of the hole. Now we're going back over to the third.
You can see the ball, Lydia Cohen.
The ball is lying great. Plenty of distance before the lip to not be an issue. Little uphill lie as well. 141 to the hole. And an 8-iron. The only way to get this close is to land it on the left edge of the green, about 10 steps short of the hole. That is a tiny target, but don't put it past her to try. And try she did.
Okay, another good result after finding the fairway bunker.
Charlie Hull for a birdie. Just going to slip the other way on her.
Someone in the chasing pack needs a Leona Maguire type round. She's had another birdie at 10. She's 6 under for the day. Here's No.
It looks like a little 8-iron from this severe uphill lie. Her hands from 135. Plenty of club. Oh, what a nice strike. That's left of the hole. Just needs a decent first bounce.
An impressive start, Karen, because this is uncharted waters for her, really.
It is. She's an impressive player, though. I mean, maybe the fact that nobody has talked about her. I mean, we all certainly talked about Lydia Cohen being the one to be the chaser, but she's maybe not feeling quite the intensity.
So how's the lie here for Lee 6?
Zero chance to get this close, but only from 125 with the wedge. She can get it on. It'll have no spin, so that front left edge is the target. And it'll end up on the right side of the green. Just fluttering out of there.
She's done well. Might not stay on the green. Still rolling. Okay. Should take that. Karen, from that kind of lie, just sure happy to be on the green.
I think that was all that the game plan was to make sure that you put it on the green and give yourself a chance at a two-putt. Especially from that left side, with the flag being on the left, almost impossible to get it all the way back to the flag.
Well, there's some good scores out there. You can see Ataya Titikun's rolled in a third bird in a row, so she's got herself into the group at 11 under. The lead is still 5 for Lee 6 at Evian.
Third green, Jung-Un Lee 6, 1 under on her round, 5-shot lead.
Another test is coming up for Lee 6. You're going to have them. You're trying to win a major.
You are, and it's, you know, you've got that huge lead too. You know, it's, she's not going to be feeling too much at the moment, but if mistakes keep happening and the other players make a few birdies.
Bringing out Amari.
Seventh's been moved back today, Richard.
Yeah,
and
so
it's full.
I was going to say that's her third shot.
Yeah.
Birdie look for Altamari. He's had one birdie already today, no drop shots. So this is where you can maybe try and make the leader feel a little bit of heat.
Could potentially gain 2 shots, Jerry. Make a
Yeah.
birdie here and leave 6 bogeys.
I think she's well aware of what one simple putt could do right here. Exactly. She might have learned a little from 6's putt, but not much. She knows it's going right. She knows it's slow. She also knows she's pretty good.
There's a little bit of a misread at 2, and that's slightly misread as well.
Here's Leona Maguire for a birdie at 12. Yeah, just running out of pace. Obviously, he's had the pace pretty much dialed in so far today. We took a look at her scorecard a little earlier. 6 under for the round.
3 at the first, 3 at the second. This for a 3 at the third for no.
And a great chance here. What an approach right there. This one's slippery. It's quick. Probably just leaking a little right, although I didn't see a whole lot, but it's so fast it can accentuate the break.
Pity. Twice a runner-up already on the LPGA Tour for the 19-year-old American. That was a great chance missed. And chance here now for these 6 to walk away without any damage at all.
Confirming what Lee 6 is seeing. Don't see much light, just favor the left side of the hole. All in all, not a tough putt, except the situation.
Notice how she does that side-on look, Jerry.
And just, I guess, I'm speculating here to give her the same visual as when she's standing over the ball.
Makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you.
of the day for John Unley 6. Wry smile and shake of the head. Leads back to 4. It was never going to be easy.
No, nothing ever worthwhile is, though, is it?
No.
So co-tide is up. Still a great position for John Unley 6, 4 ahead. 15 holes to play of this final round. One over for the day, Area Jitanaga. Here she is, 15.
Here's Leona Maguire for par. Yeah. When she's in Dublin, she spends time at the Irish Institute of Sport, and she's been able to get to know a number of other Irish Olympic athletes, so she's really excited about what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks in Tokyo.
Lovely third, wasn't it, from Altamari?
Almost looked like she changed her mind on the line at the last minute. Just gave it a little bit more out to the right than she had planned on.
First slip of the day for the 25-year-old Korean, our leader, John Unley 6. Takes it back to where she started the day at this final round of the Amundi Evian Championship. 18 under par, but the lead now is 4.
George Severick is here with you at our Golf Channel Worldwide headquarters. First real adversity Jean Unley 6 is facing. Made bogey on the third. That lead has gone from 5 to now 4 shots in this final round. Lost this one out to the right. Oh, what a fortuitous kick. Out of the rough and into that intermediate cut.
This fourth hole, going down the lower part of the golf course. Big slope on the fairway from the left to the right. Bunker on the right can catch players out, but it's playing a little bit longer today with the fairways being a little softer. Trouble right, trouble left. Hitting the fairway is imperative for the long shot that the players will face up to this green. It's a particularly long and skinny green, and the whole location today is kind of sort of middle front, but there is a little false front area to the right side that the players do have to pay attention to.
Birdies are just hard to come by here. Ionas, who watch Minji with a third.
All 3 players got caught out in their approach shot here, coming up short right. And you'll be making easy work of that chip shot though.
Yeah, back up the hill. Let's go out to the 8th and we'll check in with Lawrence Stevenson, who's been having a good week here on the shores of Lake Geneva. Is she going to chip it in? Yes! That gets Lawrence Stevenson to 8 under par. It's been a real mixed bag for her. 4th birdie of the day through 8 holes. She made a double at 6, as you can see. Dropped a shot at 2. It's still under par for the day. This was just textbook, wasn't it, Karen?
But it was. She played a little bit back in her stance, little open club face, popped the ball up, and she'll take it. Anytime you don't have to have a putt, make a putt for a par on these greens, you're going to be very happy.
Stevenson in her 3rd year on tour. And back over to the 4th and put away for her par. Yeah, 21 years of age, 4-time winner of the Japan Tour. She's in a second and a third place already this year. Remember, what is it, 21 tournaments in a row?
Just the 21, yeah. I think she's got next week off. Eri Jatanagarn. Nice tee shot. Can she get her first birdie of the day? No, of course, a winner last week with her sister in that pairs event. Dropped her marker. Of course, Eri Jatanagarn has won the Rolex Annika Major Award. So it's the award for who's performed best at the majors in a calendar year. Of course, 5 majors on offer. Eri winning in 2018. You have to win one of the majors to qualify. So runner-up finishes, say in the men's game like Louis Oosthuizen, he would be able to qualify even with a couple of seconds in third.
How far back is Lee 6 here, Jerry?
177 hole. Lydia's 162. So not that much, but she's got a little bit of a flattish, almost downhill line to that top front left hole location. You need all the spin you can get. One with 5 iron. There's very little chance out of this lie in the first cutter rough. This is going to stop real quick. Of course, though, Karen, birdie is not first and foremost on your mind when you get to the tee here, much less a second shot.
No, especially when you have a good lead as well. That's the, you know, there's no need to do anything silly for her right now. Just plonk this one on the green and try and make life easy for yourself, and just keep applying the pressure to everybody else to have to do something spectacular.
Just right of the hole. Really well struck. Just doesn't quite get to that front edge, though. Not the worst place. Nice little uphill lie for the pitch shot.
And there you go. That's where it's ended up. I had lunch with Gary Player last week, and he was talking about turning the belt buckle to the target there, and it seems like G6 does that very well, Karen.
It does, and I think what he's talking about there is a connection through more with your waist as opposed to just with your hips, you know, because there's a lot of separation between the hips and your waist sometimes for a lot of players, but that is a connected swing.
Lydia now.
That looked like a good swing, but this was drifting. Could have missed the green right.
Yeah, bunker, Jerry.
Yeah, looked like it landed on the slope, probably ran down into it. It kicked pretty hard.
A mistake there from Lydia. Closest challenger to Lee 6 is the 19-year-old Leona Mcguire, and this is her second.
Looks like 7 iron here from a pretty significant uphill lie. She can take this at it. And she has right dead on line.
Giving herself a chance for a birdie to get potentially within 3 of the lead. An incredible year in 2018 during her junior days. She won the Girls Junior PGA Championship, the US Girls Junior Amateur, and the Canadian Women's Amateur in consecutive weeks, and it was all in the month of July.
And she's doing exactly what she needs to do, Tom. I mean, she's hitting quality shots, she's given herself plenty of opportunities.
Next up, par 3 fifth. What a picturesque sight it is. Hoodaway.
Certainly is, Richard. Sun's coming out, and this pin brings both the bunkers and the water into play. Only 10 on at this treacherous par 3. One of the pricklier pin positions we've seen all week.
Didn't look like she cleared the penalty area by too much, but she's found
Judged to perfection, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. Birdie the last 3 holes, Leona Mcguire. He has been a nice move for her in this final round, starting at 8 under, now in a share of 5th place. Playing there with Emily Tennyson, you can see in the picture, she's having the opposite day. She's 3 over for the round. Under, still 7 off the lead, but a little bit of work for these 6 to do at 4, whereas Leona has a birdie opportunity to come.
Things are getting interesting. 4th hole, Zhang Lee 6, 4-shot lead. This her 3rd from just short of the green. Trying to avoid back-to-back bogeys. Decent effort, but another tester for Lee 6. Just missed a 6-footer for par last hole. So that was a moment ago. This now, Leona for birdie to get to 15 under. Just hung it out there to the right. So no will remain at 14 under par. Still a good start from the 19-year-old.
And we'll go ahead to the 6th and the 2nd shot for Inji Chun. That birdie start today. And it's going to hang on. Yeah, it's going to have a nice look at birdie. So Inji, if she makes that, we'll get it to 12 under. Right now that would be 6 behind, but of course Lee 6 still has her par putt to come here. Lydia's trying to grind away on a sandy par at the 4th.
Yeah, just a bad mistake from the fairway, but she was watching Leona's putt very closely. Saw just how it quit turning at the end. Probably a cup out on the right here.
Going to give Lee 6 a good line as well.
Turn more than Leona's in front of the hole.
And with more speed.
So that's a disappointing bogey for Lydia, assuming that one goes in. You can't say definitively that she's not going to be able to afford to make any bogeys, but at the back of your head you're thinking, going the wrong way, it's not going to help.
No, it was a big mistake going in the bunker right, the 2nd shot there.
We talked about it yesterday, how Lee 6 didn't have too much pressure in the early part of the round, and you could say the same today.
If Leona had made those last couple of putts she had a good opportunity on 3 that she could have made, another one there where the ball just stayed out on the wrong side of the hole, and it could be a completely different story right now.
Yeah, they all made birdies at the first. But Lee 6 had a good tee shot. The other 2 did not hit particularly good tee shots there, but then hit good 2nd shots. Lee 6 rolled in the birdie, and the other 2 followed. So it wasn't exactly a pressure-packed situation for Lee 6 there. She does do that rather unique lining up method. It's for par. Did stay out there, so Leona's stayed out there. Lydia Cohen's putt moved across the hole. It was a confusing one for Lee 6, and she committed to a line. Seemed like she started the ball on that line, Karen, and it just didn't work.
Nope. Golf is a frustrating game sometimes, and you always feel like you can learn something from other players' putts.
So the lead is 3. The 3-shot lead is not too big, and that's going to be interesting as the day goes on.
And particularly looking at how the scoring is going later on in the round. The last 4 holes, 3 of them are playing under par. So the puzzle at the end.
15th, 16th,
Yeah.
I guess 17th tee and 18th green. Jutanagan for birdie. He leaves that one shy. Yes, the end of this golf course can add a lot of drama, a lot of excitement. And they put the flag today on the 18th on the front part of the green with the backboard. Usually it's back right.
Welcome back to final round of the Amundi Evian Championship. Look at the current race to Simi Globe standings. Nelly Korda with that commanding lead thanks to 3 wins this season, including the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Patty Tabatanik in second. Lydia Cohen, who's in the final group today, currently in third. Hyo-Joo Kim in 10th. Remember Hyo-Joo Kim back in 2014 shot that opening round 10 under 61. That was matched this week by Zhang Lee 6th in the second round with a 61. Raced out to that 5-shot lead, but she has had her issues in this final round with consecutive bogeys. That lead has shrunk. Lydia Ko currently 5 back, and we will go to the 5th hole. Yelimi now will be first on the tee. She turns 20 tomorrow. What a birthday gift that would be to herself if she can capture not only her first win, but first major victory. She began the day 5 shots back. That margin slimmed down to just 3. The momentum clearly in her favor right now. But some work to do, and this can be a very tricky par 3 fifth.
Nice line.
There's no doubt who's striking it best in this final 3 ball right now.
They've been kind of laser-like, those irons from Yelimi. Just a really good looking swing, great impact, stays down through it, great shoulder turn, the way the arms fold there towards the end, just a confident looking swing.
Lydia going with the 6-iron, according to caddy Derek Kessler.
Just wafted away with the club. Something could have been a little bug or something flying around there too.
This is left.
Oh, she's found a lot of bunkers, hasn't she, so far today? One at 1, one at 3, one at 4, and now at 5.
We'll wait to see how that lies too. That looked like that was nearer sort of the back half of that bunker. It might not be on a flatter lie. We'll see when Jerry gets up there.
E6 now taking the pin, I think, the whole location out of play. She's going with 5-iron, plenty of club. So likely going to do just what Leona had mentioned, play it to the heart of the green, which is a wise choice on this hole.
Sorry, can you wait till after the shot to take the picture, please? Reset, okay?
Not going to mess with Dave, are you, really?
No, I would ask that photographer to move, because he is really close, right up against the T sign. This left of the hole, right at the left edge. Oh, that's going to be brutal.
chance for Jung-Un Lee 6 to go out and maybe stretch her lead. Now she'll be feeling the pressure, now she'll be feeling the nerves. Still very early stages of this third round.
Yeah, it's not quite as plain sailing as it has been.
So a nervy start, you have to say that's what it's been for Jung-Un Lee 6. Lauren Stevenson, as Tom was saying, a bit up and down, but plenty of birdies. Not 1 at 9 though. Down in 34. 4 birdies in total. One of those who've been improving in recent months and carrying that form on into a major. A lot of money up for grabs as well. $675,000 for the winner. $4.5 million purse. It's the second biggest in women's golf. So the lead's down to 3. No with a birdie putt. And Lee 6 with a tricky up and down from a bunker.
And it's a downhill lie. She'll do well not to be putting first after the shot.
The wet sand too after the rain, Jerry, doesn't help matters there either.
No. Sometimes you can get a little spin out of it, but never off a downhill lie. Oh my. That's just so good. And it's still going to be maybe 12 feet past.
Lee, how's the lie over here, Iona, for her second?
It's a little bit hairy. This is not where you want to be. 148 the number. You know that the left-hand side makes it difficult to access this green. That looks pretty good. It's the one place you can't be off the tee.
It's just going to hang on there, isn't it? Pretty good shot there from Minjee Lee. And we'll go back one to the par 3 fifth.
With some important putts coming up. Couple for par and just the one for birdie. And it's that birdie putt that's coming up first for no to try and reduce the gap to 2.
Looking quite confident in her read here. She thinks it's breaking away from the lake a little bit. This is her third great opportunity in a row.
I mean, law of averages, Jerry, at some point you have to start going in. She's given herself so many chances.
Especially with this batting stroke. It's just...
Oh, wow. Big weights it. Well, the 19-year-old putting on the pressure. Fabulous too. And what is one of the hardest holes on the course today. I wonder whether it was going to get there, Karen.
It was trying, wasn't it? Just falling in from the high side and...
Here's Mozzo there, the caddy brother of Belen. He used to play on the LPGA tour. So who's putting for par first? Yeah, Lee 6.
Lee 6 it is, and misses this. That 5-shot lead is down to 1 after just 5 holes, and game is on. Ever so gently uphill. Doesn't appear to have a ton of break.
Successive bogeys, and the lead is eroding for Lee 6.
Now it becomes very real for her. You can drop a couple and be okay. Now you've had 3 in a row, and the person who's chasing you has just birdied, and it's okay. You've got to get out of that being comfortable making pars or making a couple of bogeys. You've got to start trying to be aggressive again, and changing that mindset is really difficult in the middle of a round.
And it's a bit of a boost for Lydia Cohen as well, who could easily have lost ground, but maybe can gain some.
Yeah, but in her mind, I agree with Karen. She needs to salvage every shot she can, which she's a genius at, but needs to start hitting some good shots if she's going to figure out a way to get there at the end.
There's got to be a little trigger there somewhere, Jerry, in her swing to kind of right the ship just a little bit at the moment for her. Okay.
That went in with authority.
Still actually a little bit of work for these 6 with this bogey putt, actually.
Not a great deal. You miss this, it's strictly nerves.
Well, she led it by 7 shots when she shot that 61 on Friday morning. Of course, she had a 6-shot lead at one point yesterday, a 5-shot lead overnight, but 3 bogeys in a row. It's only 1 ahead now for John Utley 6. But of course, she's off to her lucky number. Next hole.
This tee shot for Yelimi is important now. She's pulled within 1. She's got to hit the fairway just to keep this pressure and momentum going that she has in her favour.
Well, coming towards the end of her round, and what a fine round it's been, Leona Mcguire. She's gained about 20-30 yards off the tee as well in the last year. And there's evidence of that.
Well, she'll have a chance from there on 15.
So the final group has reached the 6th hole, and Leona can't quite tell what club she's going with there.
I think it's a hybrid, not positive. You only want about 240 out of this, or 3 wood is going to get her pretty close to those bunkers if she hits it up the left.
It is hybrid.
Not a long hole, you don't need any more.
Likes it.
Yeah, as she should, just swinging so nicely, so confidently.
Seems to be very calm. You wouldn't know whether she was 10 over or 10 under.
No, I think a player that looks like that is one that knows that their game's in good order. Like, they're not worried about hitting quality golf shots because they know that's what's going to happen.
I watched her walk off the last green, and she had that look about her like she just wants to get to the next shot. She can't wait to hit the next shot. You leave me know. Lydia now, see if she can just make that transition smooth. Appeared to be all right.
They just hung up in that left rough. Another poor shot from Lydia.
Well, not the best bounce either.
Maybe a game of 2 halves today for Lydia Cohen. Maybe a back 9 charge. It's in the offering for Kiwi. Now back to the tee with Lee 6, who's coming off 3 consecutive bogeys, and that large lead overnight is down to 1 shot.
Karen, what should her self-talk be right now?
Go back to the process goals. Go back to what got you here in the first place, which is concentrate on the backswing, rhythm on your putts and speed. Just make sure that you stick to that. That way you engross yourself in the process and not the results that have just been happening. Do not hit the panic button. Everything is still fine. You're still in the lead.
Still leading a major on the final day. Minjee Lee's got a chance to maybe win a major title today now. This for birdie at 6.
Right to left, and it will move a hair of left to right back towards the hole.
Oh, what a great drive from Minjee. She's only 4 behind. Hasn't had a birdie since the first. Hit one position off the tee, but still a good chance for a birdie there. And she's got the power to take advantage of some of those holes coming back down the stretch. That was a beautiful shot, wasn't it? The sailing boat out on the lake. Might not get a lot of action with the sails today. There's not a lot of breeze out there. We haven't had much breeze all week during the Amundi Evian Championship. And it's a lot tighter at the top than some might have expected. Six is ready to go here.
143 yards, going with 8 iron. It'll be a little one. There's a touch of a helping breeze. You can get it close to today's hole location, but it's a narrow little shelf. Anything 8 yards left of it goes down the hill. Anything right of it's trouble. Or you just go right at it.
Good, yeah. Settle her down a little bit. That swing that we've seen today on a number of occasions. And she's been working hard on it. Now you let me know, trying to keep that pressure on the leader.
Same exact yardage. She doesn't seem to be as reliant or dependent on some of the caddies as many other players are. But what I'm marveling at right now, Karen, is just how smooth and fluid that swing looks. So easy, so free.
Definitely a good feeling to be in, and that feeling of can't wait to hit the next shot is a great spot to be in, because you're so excited at the feel of the ball coming off the club face.
Started a little left of it. Nice little baby fade beauty.
Now Lydia between the two bunkers, but an awkward stance, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, if this ball had gone in the bunker, it'd be an easier shot. If it had ricocheted right like it was supposed to, it would be in the fairway with nothing. But this is a pitching wedge. Having either crowd the ball or stand in the bunker, so she's real close to it for 131. Lie's good, though. Came out a little fluttery. On a decent line.
Yeah, that'll do.
Uh-huh.
So Lydia Cohen, a chance to get it to 13 under par, potentially within 3 of the lead. This is Continental Europe's major championship. We're less than 600 miles from 8 European capital cities. And the Amundi Evian Championship is getting exciting here on Sunday.
Leona started the day 5 shots back. Even in her wildest dreams, she probably didn't envision having a birdie putt on the 6th to grab a share of the lead. The Amundi Evian Championship. 2 under on her round. Jung Lee 6, 2 over. 5 shots down to 1 in this to tie the lead. Knew it wasn't high enough. Right off the face. Nonetheless, par for no.
Good for the battle right now between these two. And Minjee Lee, Lydia Cohen trying to get into the mix. And we'll go over to the 9th.
What an opportunity for an eagle 3 for Lydia Cohen, and this could put her in the picture, you know.
Yeah.
So she's within 4, having gone out in 31.
And she's quite a few holes ahead.
Right, she's going to set a target for these players. Potentially. Now lead 6 for the birdie.
Yeah, much trickier putt here. This one downhill might just inch slightly right very early, and then the rest of the time it should be moving subtly but consistently to the left.
It's trying. Just good pace in the end. And the run of 3 bogeys comes to an end, but not with a birdie. Certainly some nerves early on from lead 6. You'd expect that. Question of how much that affects the score, never quite know. But certainly has not been the player that we saw over the first 3 days, and especially not the player we saw on Friday, that round of 61. Lydia Cohen's got a chance here, Jerry.
She does have a great chance. Got a really nice read there from Lee 6. And she has that, Gary, you mentioned it when you played with her when she was really young, that she just has that uncanny ability to put the lowest score possible on the card each day with the opportunities she gives herself.
It was crazy. I played with her when she was a 13-year-old in Australia, and we all signed our cards at the end of the day, and I think I signed off on a 70, and I was reading hers out like, wait a minute, 67? And yeah, she's just incredibly impressive across the board.
And there's a birdie for Cohen. Only 3 back. It was Lydia that said yesterday, you know, this isn't over until the gloves come off and that final putt goes in. She knows that it is game on. She might look very relaxed and happy and smiling and like somebody you'd want to play with. You wouldn't necessarily want to go up against them. Let's go to 15.
We just saw an eagle from Tennyson. This for Maguire. Now, going to be another birdie. Birdie number 7 of the day. She's just outside the top 50 in the world, so just outside automatic qualifying position right now for the Solheim Cup team, but good finish over the last few holes. She might be in the automatic spots.
Charlie Hull for a second birdie of the day. It stays right. Tough start with 2 bogeys in the first 3 holes for the Englishwoman. Bounced back with that birdie at 6. Still 1 over 4 the round. She is back in the tie for 15th. It's not been a great season for Charlie, but I think she's struggled with the COVID restrictions. It's been tough for people that like to socialise in the evenings and get away from the golf. You can't really do that too much here with the restrictions the players are under for obvious reasons.
To the 7th, and Minji
126, the number to the flag from Minji. Wind is helping off the left, at least a couple of yards, and you really just can't miss this flag stick to the right because there's a runoff. What a shot. Dead aim. Another birdie putt coming up.
Yeah, she's alongside Ataya right now at 12 under par mark. They pushed the tee forward a couple of days here, Jerry. What about today?
Today it's back to its normal position, but number 9 is forward a little bit, making it much more reachable into this 3-shot hole for just about everybody in the field today. Just didn't watch it long.
Just got caught up in that left rough. But should be laying up, so doesn't seem to be too much of a big deal today.
No, she's saying she's really squeezing the most out of this round, Lydia Cohen. Imagine what she could do if she starts firing.
The thing is, you know, with her, it could happen at a moment's notice.
Well, 3 birdies the first 3 days here for now.
so worried today, Jerry, on this hole because they know that a layup is going to be a layup.
Only six put together a couple of really nice swings on the last hole. Couldn't convert the birdie. Even though it's not essential, as you say, the fairway here sure will help with her confidence. Starts off left side. Comfortable little fade right center. Nice.
Well, what an intriguing start it's been. John Huntley 6, leading still, but only by 1 at the Amundi Evian Championship.
And Minjee Lee was a couple holes ahead. Now to separate herself from the pack, move to 16 under and grab a one-shot lead for birdie on 13. Big putt for the 19-year-old. She has a one-shot lead with 5 holes to play to try and win not only her first LPGA Tour event, but first major.
It's warming up all right.
I'm not sure, but I know when I played with her at A&A, she didn't have a driver's license yet. Don't know if she's gotten one since then, but major champion without a driver's license.
Lydia Cohen can tell her about that. Well, she knows she's 3 behind. She's got the leader in the group, of course. But there's the Cohen attitude, sliding away. How far left for this second, Leona?
220 left to the flag, and what an inviting shot this is. Ball sitting slightly above her feet, and that's perfect for this flag position back left. 25 on today. She can sling this out to the right-hand side. There is a little bit of wind up here, coming off the left-hand side, which will help to hold it. Will that catch the front edge?
Not quite, no.
That'll leave her a tricky bump and run. Got a bunch of little slopes and ridges to navigate. Might even choose to fly it all the way back onto the top shelf.
John Huntley 6 did make a par at 13. So they're heading down to the 14th tee now. There's confirmation. It's a one-shot lead for the 19-year-old American. Yeah, let me know. Starting today 5 shots behind John Huntley 6. Fantastic rounds from Georgia Hall and Leona Maguire.
Final group, par 3, 14th. When she first took the lead outright, it was on the 10th hole, and she hit a shot that she could only laugh at, a pop-up tee shot, scramble for par. And she's got the lead back alone.
So 11's the yardage, 198 is the adjusted yardage for the hill. That light breeze that was into him on the previous hole is from the right with a little bit of help here, but it's so small. I'm not sure you even factor it in. Let's get her 4 or 5. She does carry a 4.
something that'll get you in the middle of the green, a little bit downwind. Really another beautiful golf swing. That's what she needs to continue to tap into here in the next few holes.
Distance measuring devices have been allowed since the last major KPG Women's PGA Championship. John Lee 6 again, the hunter.
4 areas of club of choice. You just got to hit a good shot here. Yep. Even though it's only 4 holes left, lots of possibilities coming in those last 4. Right now, just got to hit a good shot. That needs a bounce left of the green.
It's a little bit too much of one there. That's the risk you run playing the slopes here at Evian. They can help you or they can hurt you. Both.
Ng Chun, winner here in 2016. 4 off the lead with 3 to play. This will get better. Lydia, outside chance. Back to the tee at 14, Lydia.
Hybrid, that's too heading left. Even farther left.
She got a significantly softer bounce there, and that's where you see the risk that you run playing the slopes. It can really ricochet hard, or in Lydia's case, land soft and nestle up close to the hole.
A champion's bounce. She shot 63 when she won here back in 2015, and it was on this hole where she took control. She was up 1. Lexi Thompson made a double. Lydia went on to win it by 6. We thought Lee 6 might threaten Ng Chun's all-time major championship record of 21 under right here 5 years ago. Now, Lee 6 is trailing the 19-year-old from Northern California, the East Bay, California, Yelini No. Brittany Altamari, an eagle putt at the 18th.
Brittany was supposed to get married last October, had to postpone her wedding like so many couples because of COVID. She's actually getting married in Italy now this October, heading there next week to check out the venue and scout it out a little bit. She's, I know, very much looking forward to that.
This 18th was a par 4, and she went to a playoff with Anna Nordquist back in 2017. As the hail fell, Anna emerged victorious. Tennyson at the 18th after birdieing 17. An eagle would certainly make things interesting if she could get it to 15 under.
She made that putt up the slope at 17. That's ridiculous.
After missing the short ones at 15 and 16.
Exactly, yeah.
Golf. We've quit trying to explain it to him.
Let's look down at the
Sarah Kemp. A nice week inside the top 20, tied for 18th currently.
Just up a little ridge the first half of the putt, and then downhill. Isn't quite given enough.
Fellow Aussie has a chance to win here in GP. Sarah contended in Kingsmill in Virginia in late May.
She talked a lot about how really focusing on her putting. She's always been a good ball striker, but improving her putting's really made a big difference in her game this year.
We've really seen some wild turns at the 14th, often though it's been when that hole location has been way back.
Yeah, I was surprised to not see the hole location back right today. Definitely much more accessible. Only a few paces on the green today.
We saw a lot of Sunday pins on Saturday morning, and I did talk to some of the rules officials who set it up earlier today, and it was meant to be a test, but it was also meant to provide some excitement. And the quote from one of them was, "Were the holes we played today on 15, 16, 17, and 18, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 under out of a player down that stretch is not out of the question."
You think what Leona did yesterday, she birdied her last 3 holes to get into the final group. And just 19 years old, but she's made a habit of playing in final groups. She contended last December, Volunteers of America Classic in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where she finished 2nd. And as Jerry mentioned, that close call in Portland. And a great finish at Woodbury Creek as well in 2019. Up 1, long putt for birdie.
It looks Morgan pretty significantly downhill. It effectively doesn't play that much downhill, does it?
No, I mean, you're actually putting back up towards the mountain a little bit.
It's very deceptive.
The snap means stop.
We all try it. Not so sure the ball understands what that means, but we feel like it does.
Well, she's not going to putt it, Leona.
This is the kind of shot she's going to need in Carnoustie in a few weeks' time, a little bump and run. She's going to fly it a few yards on, though, yep. And it will work from right to left, picking up pace as it goes.
Good effort.
The birdie putt for NG Chun.
NG, like so many players, has talked about battling back from some depression, trying to manage the pressures of playing professional golf at the highest level.
Zhang and Lee 6 at the 14th to regain a share of the lead.
Also, maybe a touch speed here, but not frightening.
Scared of the hole.
It's more like what we saw from her the first few days. Just great rolls where it looks like almost everything has a chance to go in.
Up by 1. Titikun from Thailand, second shot, par 5, 18th.
I'd imagine she has to have some idea of where she is on the leaderboard, what's happening behind her. Trying to get it to come down that slope. She'll have a putt. It'll be a tough one.
That'll be to get to 15 under. Lydia Cohen back at the 14th has this to get to 14 under.
Trying to just claw her way closer. Hasn't given herself that many birdie chances today. That was a bit of a pull, according to her caddy, on accident, but it was the right side to miss it on, because you always have the chance for the bounce.
That never had a chance. Just another, it didn't look like a bad stroke, but another misread.
For a share of the lead. Again, Minji Lee.
Must make putt, not a lot in it.
There you go, another one moves to 16 under par. The last 8 major winners have been first-time major winners. The 2 at the top would carry that run going.
A little work left for our co-leader now, Leona Mcguire.
Yeah, she saw what it did bump past, though. Should be little doubt here.
Now she'll have a crack at that par 5, 15th, that Minji Lee just birdied to tie her. Tabatanik won the A&A Inspiration as a rookie. And then, trying to do the same. Casasso wasn't even a member of the LPGA Tour when she won the U.S. Women's Open. Lee 6 for par. She remains one back.
She seems to have settled down. I feel like I see a little bit more positive body language coming from her in the last couple of holes.
She's becoming bilingual and worked hard on her English coming from Korea 3 years ago. Lydia Cohen for par. Lydia born in Korea, grown up in New Zealand. And she will remain 3 shots behind. 15th green on the left, and this picturesque par 3 16th. Let's take a look at it.
It's a beautiful par 3, as you mentioned, Grant. The penalty area short and left can definitely come into play today with the hole location. On the left side of the green, you want to be careful not to go left and not to go long. Long can also run down there towards the bridge in the penalty area. But you can also use the right side of the green to play the ball off the slope and get it in there close, as we've seen from a few players already able to capitalize on the 16th hole today.
Richard mentioned that incredible play from Minjee Lee on these last 4 holes. Just get another birdie at 15, and here she is at 16.
143 the number, playing more like 140. And she has pitched that in the perfect position on this green, using the ridge.
She might pitch it in.
The crowd are loving it. That's a cracker.
16th hole today is playing 2.67. Playing easier than it did yesterday with the front right hole location.
Oh, you were with her when she made an ace at the par 4 16th at Kia a few years ago. This had some promise.
Just landed in a perfect spot, just at the top of the crest of the hill. Smart play.
And that to take the lead. Back on the tee now.
Yeah, co-leader, let me know.
Get this in the fairway. This hole becomes so much easier than that. It's a beauty.
Very confident pickup. Quick pickup of the tee there.
It's been a ball striking exhibition from No. 10th hole part where she maybe showed a little bit of nose.
Have a putt here for a Taya Titikun. This will become the clubhouse leader.
Pretty hard right to left early. Might fall back right at the end. Down the hill. Just hit it way too hard through the early break. Never fell left.
She knew where she was and didn't want to leave it short.
Lee 6 now back at the 15th tee. Just to hang on. Minjee Lee, let me know, looking for a major breakthrough, sharing the lead down the stretch at this Amundi Evian Championship. Apparently Leona Mcguire has been asked about her 61 and has said, I didn't play that different to when I shot 71. Just the 10 shots difference, Leona.
I'd have to imagine she made a few more putts.
Oh yeah. She has a habit of doing that as well. There's Inby Park, 2012 champion, 68 to close. Pajari and Nana Rukar went 3 over today. Hyoju Kim stalling as well. And you can see Emily Pedersen, Matilda Castro, Charlie Holt, 3 players there that, like Eri Jatanagan, not been a good weekend for her. They've taken some steps back in this final round. Nelly Corder finishing top 20. Remember, we were discussing whether she could make the cut on Friday.
That's what world number ones do, isn't it?
Indeed. Quite a few of these players, of course, off to the Olympics. 67 from Stephanie Meadow.
Eagle putt for Emily Pedersen at 18.
That's how you feel when you leave an eagle putt short in the heart.
She was third after an opening 66. Didn't really threaten to win on the weekend. And that's how you feel after a major. You just kind of collapse, don't you?
2016 winner Eun Chun with her approach to 17.
Oh, it's beautifully done. It's a very small landing area today on the right side of the 17th green where the hole is situated.
Birdie putt for Tennyson to get to 14 under and post a new clubhouse lead.
Yeah, well done there. Finishing with a 2-putt birdie.
Nearly earned her LPGA Tour card by winning the Honda LPGA Thailand. An amazing week here for Ataya. At 16, this is Hoodaway.
Oh, look at how fast that putt is. Oh, I think she made it the other way earlier in the week. She made it from the lower tier to the upper tier. Today went the other way. What a putt.
The way the young JLPGA star, just her second major championship, and she's now tied for 4th, and that putt, at the very least, keeps her in it in terms of winning.
Just trying to get this barely over the crest right there. All about speed. And you just are fortunate when you get the line right, too.
How about playing 16 and 3 under for the week?
From the wrong tier twice.
Yeah.
This is a nasty spot for Lydia Cohen.
Yeah, right over by the head shop, actually. Just a low putt from the clean line. Didn't carry it to the fairway, so that's going to be a very lengthy third.
She did what she had to do, though, Jerry. She got it out. She should still be able to get it on the green from there.
Yeah, but she's 3 back Morgan. This was a hole where she really needs to make birdie.
That's her driver, her tee shots in general that have definitely let her down today.
She's done well just to stay in it, really. Early 6. Certainly has eyes on getting there.
Got her 211 from a 236 hole. It plays uphill. It's into a breeze. This is a hybrid. I don't see that being enough club. I mean, I know it runs up there getting down the right. With any kind of draw, it could work out, but this is going to struggle to get there. Well, she had just the shot that she wanted to. Nice low draw.
Just gets a little bit unlucky there to catch the bunker. Had a long shot there.
Short putt for Minjee Lee to take the lead. She's never been this close to a major championship title. 40 years after Jan Stevenson gave Australia its first women's major. Could Minjee Lee become the fourth from down under to come out on top? One of the biggest events of the season. And that stretch, 15 through 18, she'll never forget it. She goes on to win it.
And ironically, she's had probably her quietest year since being on the LPGA Tour. Now, no.
Hybrid as well, 26th of the hole, and she hit that beautifully. And now just has to hope it works out.
She ends up just short in the bunker as well. Boldly. It's one of the toughest shots in golf, those really long bunker shots with a lot of green.
Well, 3 birdies, no drop shots today for Minjee Chun. Stays 12 under. 21 under par, at least I suppose a 4-round record score. Looks as if it's going to stay intact. So, 15th hole. Minjee Lee now, of course, ahead by 1 shot.
It's just been really solid golf play today from the chasers. Came out today not having anything really to lose. Come out and try and post a score, make as many birdies as possible. They've given themselves a chance.
17th tee now for Minjee Lee.
220 is the number you want to hit off the tee. Bunkers down the left-hand side. Dog legs up to the right. That's the right-hand side. That could be blocked out.
Yeah, that's really the first mistake we've seen from Minjee. She'll have to try and get one high up and over the trees on the right side of this fairway. Just doesn't quite get the ball turning over to take the slope. Fairway slopes very heavily right to left.
Oh, look away, hasn't gone away, has she, after that birdie at 16. 3 behind Minjee Lee.
First bunker down the left starts at 220. And that's a long way back, but in a good spot. Nice angle into the green from there.
So back at the 15th. Lydia Cohen's played, I take it, Jerry, up here already?
Yeah, she just did, Lydia. That's all 215 with a hybrid. Hit it to about 12 feet. That's a chance at birdie. Now, you let me know, it is a long bunker shot, but it's not going to play effectively, Morgan, as long as it is, because the contour of the green will help a lot. Flat lie, which also helps. Certainly don't want an uphill lie here.
Yeah, I think it's really important on these long bunker shots to pick a spot to land it. When you have so much green, you can land it almost anywhere. You got to really be precise where you land it. That was very well done there.
Yeah, that was less than her normal lob wedge or even sandwich. That looked like a gap wedge, just skidded it along the ground.
Well, last year on tour, who made the most birdies on the LPGA? Minjee Lee, and you let me know. You're making a fair few today as well.
A little bit of a downhill lie here for these 6. Hadn't been in a bunker all week until today. Chunk that one.
Is that one mistake too many for the overnight leader? Just looked like she had some momentum as well.
On the tee at the 18th, Minjee Chun, just inside the top 10, 12 under. That wasn't a smile of happiness, was it?
No, that was a smile of, oh goodness. Missed the fairway and will probably be forced to lay up, as we're seeing so many players have eagle opportunities.
So Jerry, fourth shot here for Lee 6.
Yeah, it's doable from an uphill lie. A little bit of terrain working toward her, but it's not easy. And to compound things a little bit, this group had gotten out of position on the back nine, and we're warned and now officially on the clock starting this hole, so she can't really take as much time as she probably would have liked.
You think she needs to chip this in, Jerry?
Most likely, but there's still some opportunity ahead.
I tell
You
you,
can't make bogey.
yeah, well, she did that at 9, didn't you? But being on the clock, that's the last thing Leona needs after what happened to her at the Kiev Classic, where she was fined for slow play, got a huge fine, and talked about how she started getting paranoid about things. Felt people were looking at her like she was a slow player. Now she's under pressure trying to win a major, and the clock's ticking too.
Well, from my perspective, Morgan Fine worked, because not one moment today she looked slow to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard you say that she seems to be taking no time. I know she, Richard, you mentioned earlier her work with Dr. Matt Park. He's really helped her to turn the negative thoughts around that situation into more positive ones and focus on what she wants to accomplish in her game and not worry so much about the situation around the fine. Just another low miss for Lydia Cohen, just not seeing the line as well as she normally does.
So Lydia Cohen, 4 back, 3 to play. So who's next to go here, Jerry? We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's go up to 17 first. Hoodaway.
127, the number for Hoodaway. Oh, slightly above her feet. She's got a good line into this pin. Looks like that might be slung out to the right. Yeah, it's the bunker, pin high.
Well, it's going to be E6 first for par.
Yeah, as close to a must make as you can get right now.
That took a little bit of guts, didn't it?
Really good stroke there. She still has a chance.
Yeah, she's 2 back, of 1 at the moment. Could be 2 players though.
Does putt have some speed in it, Jerry?
A little bit, not too much. This back left portion just doesn't have quite the contour of the rest of the green. Should come a little left. It doesn't look frighteningly fast at all.
I do have confirmation, by the way, that from her agent, Kevin Hopkins, that she does not have a driver's license. Still waiting on that.
She has a putt for a share of the lead, that's for sure. That's frustrating.
Looked like a good stroke, just played a little bit too much break there. You can see the emotion coming out now, understanding the situation and what's at stake.
Another missed opportunity, but still everything to play for Leona. So still 1 ahead, Minji Lee, but how close to the trees is she here?
I don't think for a player of her standard, the trees are an issue. 105 to the flag. It's going to be getting close to this flag. It's going to be impossible. It will fly out to the left-hand side. Ball was above her feet.
Well, that's where Tennyson hold from.
That's a smart play, especially in that situation. Take any kind of a big number out of play by trying to be too aggressive and still giving herself an opportunity to make birdie.
Well, Minjee Lee had struggled in the big events. She'd had just 3 top 10s in her first 29 majors. She had a couple last year. Looking for the breakthrough. She's the one they're trying to catch now. 1 ahead as she plays 17.
Was led for much of this back 9 or had a share of the lead. Now she is trailing Minjee Lee by 1. Par 3, 16th. Birdied this hole a day ago. Pivotal tee shot.
This is where that closing kick began yesterday. Putting her last 3 to get into that final group.
Good away. Slick putt, Iona.
It's a delicate touch, this one. Could go racing down the slope if she's not careful.
I texted with Amy Azado yesterday about Ayaka. She said that she's a super steady player, especially her iron shots are just incredible. She's so much short game skill. Very, very calm demeanor on the golf course. I think she reminds me a lot of Amy Azado.
Jonghyun Lee 6, 5 ahead when this final round began. 2 behind with 3 to play.
That's a good one here. 8 iron. This needs to catch a slope. It could, right of the hole. Oh, yeah.
Here's step 1. Trying to make her way back toward the top of the leaderboard. 17.
Here is the player who is top of the leaderboard, Minjee Lee.
This is the putt you don't want to get greedy on. All about pace, judging it up this ridge. It's likely to move from right to left in the first half and then possibly the other way as it makes its final ascent to the hole.
Whoa.
Wow. There's an error.
Sometimes when you stare at the large slopes here and you just, the last thing you say to yourself is make sure you get it up the hill. That's what happens. Just really got to focus on speed. This is a huge putt here. Been leading the field in putting all week. This one's going to test her nerve.
Minjee Chun with her 3rd of this par 5. Saw her smiling when her tee shot went right. Punched out to there, and she made the birdie the hard way. It would appear. Chance to join the group at 13 under, which is tied for 6th.
Well, Minjee Lee, obviously, with a huge putt to come on this green. First, Pajari and Anna Rukan.
Down the slope. From left to right. It's a quick one.
Well, it's good to see back-to-back birdies for the time, giving a little bit more respectability to her score. Trying to post her first top 10 in a major. But there's no doubt who the central figure is here, and Iona. This has suddenly become a very crucial moment in this Amundi Evian Championship.
Yeah, the tension's heating up here, as is the temperature. The sun is blazing down now. Many of the spectators have pulled out a brolly to keep them in the shade. Minjee Lee understandably taking her time, using her feet to read the contours of this green, and her and Jason, her caddy, have been working really well all day together as a team. I've been so impressed by her demeanour, her ability to stay patient, and this is another opportunity to prove her class.
She will have gotten a decent read, Iona, from it going by the hole.
Sometimes, as you'll know, if it's got so much pace, you putt through the break. It's going to move a little from right to left.
Huge.
Wow, what a moment.
That is one she will remember if she is to be the champion here this afternoon. That was a huge par save.
And now a reachable par 5 to come.
It really is putting that wins major championships. It's proven time and time again. Very, very clutch stroke there from Minjee Lee.
Well, what a moment for the Australian. The player who looked like she might miss the cut on Friday now might lift the trophy on Sunday. Start of the day, 7 shots behind, and she knew she needed a fast start.
Yeah, and at that point, you know, you really have nothing to lose. Go out there and play aggressively, see how much you can get out of your round. We've seen low scores this week. She knew birdies were out there.
Yeah, birdied the first, also birdied the par 5 7th. As you can see, these are no gimme putts she's rolling in.
No, but they roll beautifully and they go in the center of the hole with perfect speed.
Out in 32, you wondered whether she might lose her patience, Morgan, because she had great chances at 10, 11, 12, 13.
Had another great look here at 14. Just nailing the irons. Just really steady golf.
Yeah, of course. Some assistance, of course, with the overnight leader hitting reverse gear. Hit the front of the green in 2 here at 15.
She made this one look a lot easier than it really is. A lot of undulation on the 15th green.
This is a part of the course where she has struck gold all week. Par 360 off the back of those birdies at 14 and 15. Take those all day over the stretch in a major championship, but it's not just the birdie putts, it's the par putts that count, like the one at 17.
At the 16th, you let me know to tie Minjee Lee at 17 under.
9-10 feet, tiny movement left. Great opportunity. Gotta take advantage, unlike the last hole. Good smooth stroke. Just gave it too much.
She is not timid with these opportunities.
Like Jerry said, that really did look like a good stroke, similar to the putt on the last hole. Just both of them grazing the right edge. You can see it in her body language, though. She knows she's running out of holes. It's only 2 left. Granted, as we've seen, plenty of eagles to be had on 18, and she's got plenty of length to have almost a short iron into the 18th today.
Well, Minjee Lee was 10 shots back heading into the weekend at 5 under par, 10 behind Lee 6. She was 7 back when this final round began. Now she leads it by 1 on the tee at the par 5 18th.
Putting back into the sun, the wind actually helping off the right-hand side. And that's gone left into the branches, but not too deep. Could have been worse, actually, saved by the branches.
John and Lee 6 to get back into the thick of it here at 16.
Let's just coax this one down the slope. Huge.
She's back within 1. And she's not going away.
What a great fight. Great fight after that rough front 9. 5-shot lead. And now she's one back. And she'll find soon that Minji's in trouble on the left on 18, because 17 and 18 run parallel.
Minji Chun for a closing birdie, this for a 67. It's been a really good year for Minji Chun. Began the year with 3 straight top 10s. Tied for 6th at the moment. The U.S. Women's Open in 2015 followed it up here with a victory in 2016 in record fashion.
17th hole here is one of the shortest par 4 on the scorecard, but one of the most challenging. Fairway slopes a lot right to left, and the whole dog legs away from the slope and contour of the fairway. Second shot playing 7 or 8 yards uphill to a blind green. Hole location today located only a few paces over a little bit of a false front, and as you can see, they're very close to the slope left of the flag where we just saw Minji putt from. If you miss this green, this hole location just a little bit to the left, end up all the way down at the bottom of the swale.
Well, what an up and down at 15. What a birdie at 16. These 6 scrapping back into this championship.
T-ball has not hardly at all been an issue today for these 6. Nice one there, a little right of her intended line. That might be tree trouble.
Yeah, Minji Lee was in a similar position. Of course, this is a hole yesterday where she able to make a bogey 5. No, now.
Just a little right of where she wanted. That should be just clear there.
All right, the second shot for Minji Lee at the par 5 18th.
Doesn't need more than around 130 here. That's come out low, chasing down the fairway. A good layup. Under the pressure, no danger.
Amy Olsen came to this 18th 3 years ago with the lead when it was a par 4, missed it left, not to making double bogey, losing to Angela Stanford.
And she did what she had to do here, though, just get it back into the fairway, give yourself a chance to make birdie.
And a player who leads the LPGA in final round scoring average. Ayaka Hoodaway is 3 under today, and she's tied for 4th, 3 back.
190 is the number for Hoodaway. Wind helping, you can see the Evian flags fluttering. Definitely 5 yards of help now. And there is a little bank behind the flag. That came out low.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one off the downslope. Green is where the whole location is situated, sloping back towards her just a bit, but that'll take a bit of touch out of that bunker to get it close.
And now Pajari Anana Rukarn, last to play in this penultimate grouping.
6 iron in hand for Anana Rukarn, 172 to the flag. She's hit an absolute cracker of a drive down the left-hand side of this 18th. She wants to play this in short of the flag. It's back 18. As I say, just sitting in front of that ridge, which will stop any balls chasing.
We've seen that made. It's not not easy. Trying to squeeze into the top 10. Right now she's 11th. Minjee Lee is trying to give her family its second victory in the month of July. Her brother Min Woo just won the Aberdeen Scottish Open a couple of weeks ago. He's about to have a birthday, and she's headed back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area where he's waiting for her. It's where she makes her home in the U.S., and they're going to have a celebration before she takes off for Tokyo.
It could be a double celebration. He won in a playoff, of course. Three-way playoff.
Longtime sidekick Jason Gilroyd, a.k.a. Gilly, been out here a long time. Coming to Evian for a long time. Chance, along with his boss for the last several years, to hoist a major championship trophy for the first time with her. Third shot, par 5. She leads by 1.
Crowd have hushed. 110 is the number. Wind has settled down.
She'll have that to push her lead to 2. She may have that putt before players at 17 have a chance to putt for birdie themselves.
Well, that's where we're going now. 17. These 6, how affected is she by the trees?
It's well, the large part of the tree up top has either been trimmed or fell down, died, or got struck by lightning because it's not as tall as it used to be. She still has to contend with it and get this up relatively quickly. With a pitching wedge in her hand, it shouldn't be an issue. 111 is the actual low, so it's much longer.
Your mistake here, Jerry. You want to be a little bit long. If you're short of the screen, it'll roll all the way back some 30 yards.
That's plenty of club that's left of the hole.
What a shot. Got it to land so softly and stay on that top slope. Yeah, you can smile. That was a good one.
She has no idea how close it is. 0. Other than the light applause by the fans who have made it up to the green already, and that's not an easy track. 105 for Yulimi. Little pitching wedge. This looks good in the air. Really good.
Well, how about these shots into 17? Magical from Leona.
Just an incredible shot under the pressure. Beautiful golf swing. Her swing has looked so steady all day long.
Right before Minjee putts for birdie, we've got a third here from Hoodaway.
Off the downslope, this is not easy.
Just about as good as she could do from there.
Say. Bursting on to this global golf scene here this weekend. She's a star in Japan. Just her second major championship was the cut at the U.S. Women's Open in December last year in Houston. A great look at the drama that is and is to come. And it's been a couple of weeks near the top of the leaderboard, playing late on the weekend for Pajuianana Rukar now. After last week's great showing at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational Team event, she tied for third with Aditi Ashok, 22-year-old from Thailand. As this for Eagle to move into the top 10.
Wonderful atmosphere here around the 18th. The sun just starting to get lower in the sky. hundreds of fans and spectators here to watch. And this putt, little swing from left to right, not an easy hole location to access from this angle. What a finish this would be if we could find the bottom of the cup.
She'll have that to just get a share of 10th. And first LPGA top 10, Kingsmill, late May, tied for third last week, as we said, at that team event. Card's going to mark, I believe, 21-year-old from Japan, Ayaka Udaway. See if she can roll in this birdie putt. This to get to 15 under, alone in fourth.
Just using her feet to sense the line, not an easy one to read. Looks like she's aiming slightly to the left. She can put a good roll on it, it's uphill.
Only right in the middle. A 67 for Ayaka Udaway. She is alone in fourth place. Number 30 in the world. It's be a bit better after the rankings are calculated. And now our leader. By one, Minjee Lee for birdie to go up by 2. Close birdie putts at 17 for both Lee 6 and Yelimi, who are a shot behind. To really put the pressure on.
Well, Grant is up the slope from right to left. She's remained patient all day. She deserves this one to drop.
What a finish from Minjee Lee. On a part of the golf course that she has owned this week. From 7 back when the round started to now up by 2. As she posts a 64. Is it enough? Is it enough for her first major championship?
Just what a great finish. Clutch putts, 16, 17, 18. Puts a lot of pressure on the players back on 17 green.
It's a player who has felt the weight of expectation. She won her first professional event when she was still an amateur. She was the #1 ranked amateur in the world. And her lead is 2 as we go back to 17.
Well, the target has been set.
Well, they could hear the applause, Richard, from the 18th green, but it didn't sound like a roar. It didn't sound like anything dramatic, so they're not sure in their minds, I don't believe, that they're 2 behind right now. I have no idea how this ball Morgan stick come to rest on the top slope when she hit it. I'm sure she thought it was down the hill, but take advantage of the break now, and it got to pour it in.
Yeah, it had just enough side spin, amazing, out of off the draw lie to stay up. And I mean, she got a lucky break on 12 to stay in the fairway. Take advantage of the one here as well.
When she was 3-9 holes, she looked beaten. But what a response from Jung Eun Lee fast to time in Lee.
Incredibly impressive the way she's able to pull herself out of just being off there on the front nine and not giving up, understanding there's still plenty of golf left.
Fortunately not to be for the 2015 champion.
Yeah, I talked to her coach Sean Full yesterday and asked what he thought about her performance so far this week, and he said solid. I love where her game is. His career is a really long time, and I'm an anti-results guy. Said process, optimism, and smart work. That's the recipe.
So bogey for go back to 11 under, but another one of those moments coming up. John 6 has done what she needed to do, which was make a birdie here. Now needs to do the same.
Just can't imagine there being many better looks than this on this hole today. She's had so many birdie putts, more so than anybody else besides perhaps Minjee in contention. Hasn't been able to make a ton of them, but this one is pretty easy.
Fantastic. That's two huge birdies from John 6 and you let me know. It's all we can ask for. Everything on the line heading to the 72nd hole.
That 18th is a hole that both Leona and John 6 have birdied each of the first 3 days. And it's where Minjee Lee just moments ago poured in a birdie putt to push her lead at the moment to 2.
You have to wonder, with the eagle possibility here on 18, will that be enough?
She gets to the number where John 6 was when this final round began at 18 under. If Minjee wins, she will match the all-time women's major championship comeback record of 7. The last to do it was her idol, player with whom she played the International Crown, Kari Webb, 2006. There she is with the mask on. And waiting. It is remarkable. Look at the comebacks. 2 of the last 3 Evian championships. The winner was 5 back going into the final round.
Just shows anything can happen on this golf course. There's birdies to be made and trouble to be found.
Minjee found trouble off the tee, punched out, made birdie anyway. You know, enormous tee shots for the players tied for second. Find the fairway. It's go time. 6 with the honor. She stood on the first tee. She led by 5. She's now down by 1.
Well, David Buhai asked me what the deal was, and he knows they're 1 back. Didn't chat with Jesus or Yulimi, but she has to have a really good idea. One last good tee shot, and she'll have a good chance. She loves it.
And how about how these swing changes of the last few months have held up under the major championship pressure board?
Very impressive the way, other than, definitely a rough front 9, probably a little bit of nerves, but I'm just impressed the way she's mentally been able to pull herself out of that hole and change her body language and start to see some putts go in and stroke them with confidence.
She knows what it's like to be a major champion. Last day as a 19-year-old for Northern California's Yeleni. No, she'll turn 20 tomorrow. Might turn a major champion here in just a few moments' time.
Biggest drive of her life right here.
actually got up by the green from the rough earlier this week. Let's take a look at the lie.
Yeah, she knew it right away. Just lost it a little bit to the right, and just got enough strength to get it out of the rough, but we've seen so many players forced to lay up from up there.
Lydia, now Derek Kistler, how close he is here.
Yeah, and I asked her, Coach, why he's standing so close to her on the tee. He said he's observing the ball position. And fully focuses a lot on ball position and alignment with players. It's an important lesson to learn for everyone at home, that it all starts with fundamentals well before you even take the club back.
She's not going to like the ball position here. And David Buhai is informing his boss, Jong Lee 6, of where she stands, which is one behind 25-year-old from Australia, Minjee Lee. Talking to another couple of major champions. She may be one in a moment. The Chasers playing 18, one back. Morgan, you know what this is like, waiting to see if the score you post is enough. Happened to you at the A&A, 2007.
That's a good move she's making here, having a little snack. You want to make sure, in case you do have to play some more golf, you're prepared, with enough energy. It's a tough weight, though. But after that round of 64, regardless of what happens, I mean, she put up one heck of a round of golf today and has to be proud of her effort.
She birdied 4 of her last 5 holes, and the only one she didn't birdie was an incredible putt of its own for par.
Very,
17.
very clutch. I mean, her putting is what she's been struggling with this year, more so than in years past, except for this week. This week, her putting has made the difference, and she showed that coming down the stretch under tremendous pressure, making clutch putt after clutch putt, knowing what's on the line.
Great teacher Harvey Phoenix said, if you want to be a great putter, hang out with great putters. Minjee Lee is hanging out with a couple of Evian champions, Yoju Kim and Minjee Chun. And there is that finish.
Similar to what she did yesterday, birdieing the last 4 holes yesterday, to really put herself in a position to even get close today.
She hasn't played the par 5s well this year at all, outside the top 120 in par 5 scoring average, but 14 under this week on the par 5s. Will it be enough? Final group in the fairway or to the right of it at the 18th. Lydia Cohen and Leona are in the rough. Jim Foltz has been following along all day.
Yeah, pretty clean lie here. She is kind of coming rebel in the last couple of holes of duffed the chip on 16 and bladed one on 17. Something you never thought you'd say about Lydia. Thought this lie was good enough to give it a go. It might be. I don't know what she's hitting. 184 the hole. Definitely went for it. Hit a nice high quality shot. Line's excellent.
And that will be for Eagle. What's been a tough back 9 for Lydia. What can you tell us about Yelimi-No's situation?
Plenty good enough to go for it. And I'm pretty sure she knows she has to. 181 hole. It's not great, but it's good enough. She has some strength.
Anything here, a little bit right of the flag, middle of the green, just under that ridge that divides the green would be ideal.
It's just a layup. I thought I saw a wedge in her hand. That's surprising.
Must make birdie to tie. She'll have a third shot and a short one coming up the 18th.
Yes, Jerry, she just must have thought that it was too risky of a shot going for it with the lie.
Yeah, it wasn't a given, but I don't know.
Well, certainly make birdie from where she is. Would have thought the chances would be greater up around the green.
Left, you're looking at 4 and 38. 38, anything 5 o'clock win. Okay.
Well, her only eagle of the week was on a par 4. She spun one in yesterday at the 11th. An eagle here gives her her second major. A birdie would tie Minjee Lee.
And just a great opportunity. They work in meters. He's asking her to fly at 138, which would be about 151, 152 yards. The actual number to the hole is just over 170. Little wind helping. 7 there. Just right of the hole. 15 feet.
That would be a putt to pass Minjee Lee and get to 19 under. She has a chance for one of the great collapses and comebacks of all time in one day.
It is pretty amazing just how her mental fortitude to fight back.
Let's send it down to our colleague Tom Abbott.
Yeah, down on the putting green here, Grant, and Minjee Lee seems pretty relaxed. She's been chatting with In Ji Chan and Hyo Ju Kim, but they're actually watching it there on the phone. So with that caddy Gilly, they have a sense of what's going on, and now Minjee's going to maybe roll a few putts on this putting green with a potential playoff looming.
We'll go back to the 18th if there is a playoff. There was one back in 2017 in the inclement weather. And Nordquist defeated Brittany Altomari. That's the trophy they're playing for. Since 2013, it's been a major championship. This tournament predates the birth of Yulimi No, the LET. And now the 19-year-old with the biggest shot of her young life.
90 yards, a little bit of a downhill side hill line, not a big issue. One that she would expect to get close every time she hits it under any situation. But this is a situation she's never been in. Trapped it.
She's got a chance.
Wasn't the shot that she wanted to hit there, but was able to get some spin back off the backstop and gives herself an uphill look at birdie, tie the lead.
It'll be a similar length to putts that she had at 15 and 16. And she missed. She made birdie at 17.
And Jerry said she just trapped it a little bit, didn't quite hold the face open long enough on that wedge to get it to fall to the right.
She's trying to become the 4th major champion in 4 majors this year, age 22 or under. Patty Tabatanic won the A&A at 21, Yuka Sasso at 19, Nelly Korda at 22.
Future looks pretty bright, huh, Grant?
What do you think? Believe me, no. The last day before turning 20. She's going to have a putt, and she'll know what it's for. A chance to tie the lead, or maybe too little, too late, because Lee 6 has a putt for eagle. I believe will be first. It'll be a Co's got a putt for eagle. She's out of contention to win. The putter has been a struggle all year for Minjee Lee until she gets here to Evian.
Just beautiful strokes, even the ones that she missed. Talk about the putts on 10, 11, 12, 13, opportunities that she had. They were great rolls, good strokes. All had a chance to go in.
The swing of emotions has been wild here for Lee 6. She prepares to putt for eagle and a win. First, Lydia.
Just straight up the hill. A lot of slope into her here.
That's a good visual. Finishes like a champion. The winner here in 2015, she was the youngest ever major champion, man or woman. And it's going to be a 6th top 10 for Lydia Cohen, 8 appearances at Evian. So here was Minjee. She hears a roar, and she says, "What happened?" She is still alive.
She knows somebody made something. She's just trying to figure out who it was.
And that was an eagle roar, wasn't it? Will there be another one? Well, we have seen it in major championships all year long. Big leads, threatened, lost, and Lee 6 with a chance at redemption here on the 72nd hole. A putt to win the Amundi Evian Championship.
This roar would be unmistakable if it goes in. And for, well, I think the first time today, she's asked to put the flagstick in. Turning left, it's just a question of how much.
For the win. That was make speed, wasn't it?
She was giving that one a run. It's a little bit quick, putting in that direction past the hole. It's gonna have a little bit of work left.
So Minjee Lee will at least play off. At least. So birdie putts to tie for no, at least 6. Trying to force extra holes. Yelini, no. To force a playoff. So close. She'll think about those putts, won't she? 15 and 16 and 18.
She really gave it a great run today, especially under major championship pressure. First time she's really been in this position with a chance to win. And just the mistake off the tee on 18. The decision to lay up. Not able to convert the birdie from the fairway.
The stage is set. Jonghyun Lee 6 to come back her for birdie to get to 18 under and force a playoff with Minjee Lee. clutch birdie at the 18th, and 3 straight to close out a remarkable comeback after that opening 9 of 39.
It's kind of ridiculous to say what a great comeback after starting the day with a 5-shot lead, but it really was. Fought till the end, never gave up. That's the DNA of a major champion.
Trying to win her second in the last 3 years, Minjee Lee is trying to win her first major. She trailed by a couple here on the back 9 after leading it by 5 when the day began. And she was listening. She dodged one roar. That eagle was from Lydia Cohen. She had to double check. Lee 6 wasn't the one who made it. So after a rough front 9, Lee 6 back where she started at 18 under. Minjee Lee will play off with her in Evian. The 6 began with a 5-shot lead. And how did she come out of the gates? Eyeing this approach at the first. Go wide of the target, but a good spin. With her couple competitors in there close, she would roll in the birdie first. But then it got a little rough. Bogeys at 3, 4, 5, and 8, and then at 9, the par 5. She was greenside in 2, makes 6. Actually made a nice comebacker for bogey. And a 39 2 days after she shot 28 on that same side. And then the comeback would begin at the 12th for birdie. Got her back to 15 under. Pars at 13, 14, 15. The up and down at 15 was tremendous for par. And then at 16, in there close. Spins it in there to about 8-9 feet. She would roll that in for birdie. Got her to 16 under. And then with a bit of tree trouble.
This might have been shot of the day here, Gramps. Getting this to stay on the top tier.
That took her to 17 under after she rolled in that putt. She was 1 behind. And then at 18, reached the green in 2. The eagle putt had a chance, rolled past, and then the comebacker to force a playoff with Minjee Lee. And after all of that, a 71.
What a fight. Just fight all day. To such a great start. Birdieing the first. Looked like she was in control. But Evian is a tough, tough golf course. And she really showed so much patience on that back 9. You mentioned I think actually the bogey putt on 9 was really the first positive thing she had seen in a long time, making that 6-footer. Then would make the putt on 12. That just kind of gave her a little bit of something positive in her mind when everything seemed like it was going wrong.
Minjee's been in a couple of LPGA playoffs. She lost both, although one was to Eagle, Lydia Cohen, the Metahill in 2018, and another was to Nelly Korda's birdie in Taiwan. It took something exceptional to take down Minjee Lee in extra holes. They'll play the 18th. No aggregate here as in the U.S. Women's Open. While we have a moment, we send it down to Tom.
Yulimi, I know you're disappointed not to be in that playoff, but a final round of 67, you were right in the hunt for a major championship. What do you take away from this week?
A lot of positives. It's been my best major finish, I think, and just really glad to have been in this position in the first place and to play with major champions. Yeah, it was really great experience, and I learned a lot from them, and yeah, it was fun.
If I could take you back to the 18th, it's a reachable par 5. You were looking at birdie, potentially eagle. What was the decision-making process with that second shot?
Well, I mean, if it was even if it was in the rough, just play it like a normal lie, I 100% would have gone for it, but I was sitting down, and even after I hit my punch out, it was like in a little divot, sitting down, so it was like, can make birdie either way, but it didn't happen.
You said at the beginning of the year you really struggled with your ball striking. That doesn't seem to be the case right now. What has changed for you?
Well, I worked on my swing a lot. I mean, which is kind of weird because there isn't much to work on because it's the same, nothing too big. And my swing coach has been the same for the past 10 years. And just literally like little things, just tempo and just trying to fit everything all together was it. And all of it was mental, I think.
Well, it was a really impressive week. I know you're going to be excited for the rest of the season. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
It's still breakfast time back in the East Bay of California, where Leona is from. Dan Baselli talking to our playoff participants.
We're playing one hole with 7 victory. Right. But we're going to play the team twice if it happens to go that way. Okay? All right? All right, you were low scored today, so you get to choose your starting position, and you get the second one there. Is it number 1? Okay. All right, so, and you good luck. Play well, ladies. Okay.
I need you to go first. Under on the par 5s this week. And on this 18th, got 5 under.
Well, with a good drive here, it's nothing for these two. A little bit of breeze help in firm fairway, 670 there and in, but you have to get it in the fairway.
Yeah, Jaren, when she played this hole, about 30 minutes ago, she pulled it well left into the trees, was forced to punch out. Gotta erase that one from your memory right now.
That one's up the left center. I mean, just as good as you could place it right there.
She struggled a bit with her ball striking in the last couple of years, but it has returned, and the putting is back this week. 6.
Just as clutch could be down the stretch. The huge par putt at 15, the birdie at 16, the one shot over the tree at 17, and then the easy 2-putt birdie at 18. Almost the identical line. A little left. Should bounce right.
And she'll play second. These two players born a day apart in 1996. John Lee 6. Already a major champion in Minji Lee. For so long on that list, we talked about it when the week began. Best players without a major championship.
She's definitely, if not on top, nearly the very top of everyone's list. It's a list that nobody really wants to be on, and one that she could take her name off of here shortly.
Well, at the 18th, after laying up,
making birdie the hard way.
Minji Lee rolls it in for birdie. Shoots 64. Get to 18 under. Birdie at 17, and then a 2-putt birdie at 18 for John Lee 6 to get to 18 under and force those extra holes, or at least one. It was not the traditional path to professional golf stardom for Jong Lee Six. Her father was injured severely in a car accident when she was just 4 years old. And the family didn't have a lot of money. Lee Six wasn't even sure she wanted to play golf, but did it for the family, became a major champion, and then when she went home to Korea for the first time since winning the U.S. Women's Open, it was an emotional return to see her mother and father for the first time since she had become a major champion in the U.S. And now those players we just saw a moment ago in the Major Championship Club, they've already welcomed Korea's Jong Lee Six 2 years ago. And they will be welcoming the Aussie Minjee Lee very soon. Would you have a preference if it were you on going first? Second shot here to the par 5?
In a match play situation, first one usually has the advantage. You can put the pressure on your opponent by hitting it stiff here, or, I mean, potentially give your opponent an opening by hitting a poor shot. But Minjee's looking to stick this one close and put a lot of pressure on Lee Six right now, huh, Jerry?
Yes, indeed. She's got a little more difficult shot. It's 10 yards longer, but a little bit more of a downhill side hill lie. It's not a game changer by any means, but just a little more to think about. Front, 173 front, 191 hole. In this Greece Open, this is a 6-iron. 6-iron.
Just trying to carry this 5 or 6 paces on the green. The downslope should release a little bit more.
Really good contact. Really good looking shot.
What a shot from Minjee Lee. She'll have that for eagle, and the pressure is on.
What a fantastic shot. You mentioned earlier, Grant, Lydia making eagle on Minjee at Lake Merced. Minjee trying to make an eagle of her own to win a major championship. Solid contact on the lie, downhill, side hill lie that Jerry mentioned is just so important to stay down and through the shot. Just catches it perfectly.
Maybe about the length of the putt she made for birdie. Get to 18 under, maybe a touch inside of it. And it's there in front of Jong Lee Six.
10 yards closer here, 181 to the hole, and going with one more club. This is a 5-iron. Was a little thin, but on a good line.
We saw a ripple.
That is definitely wet. Complete miss hit, as it turns out. Just dove out of the sky, Morgan.
Wow, yeah, just off the little bit of a side hill lie as Minjee stayed down and threw it beautifully. Lee Six just, she knew right away that it was a groove or too low. That is to be so deflating after her incredible fight back today.
And now Minjee Lee makes her way up to the 18th green, where she will have a putt for eagle. The best Jong Lee Six could do from here would be a 4. She'll have to pull out. This is a welcome that many thought would Championships reception.
Case there, Grant, of just Minji going first, hitting a great shot and putting a little bit of extra pressure on Jung and Lee 6.
So in 2, out in 3, a fourth coming up for Lee 6. She has made a few this week from off the green. Never in a moment like this. Fourth shot.
80 yards. Past the chart.
She's going to putt for par before Minji putts for eagle. And she was a superstar before she ever turned pro. Top-ranked amateur. And a great golfing family. And then we were already twice a winner on the European Tour, including just a couple of weeks ago in Scotland. Five times a winner on the LPGA Tour. And last was in 2019. And she's going to have at least 2 putts to become a major champion for the first time and give Australia its 4th women's major champion. And this summer alone, Morgan, what we've seen in major championships, the heartbreak, 5-shot leads surrendered. Lexi Thompson with 8 holes to go at the U.S. Women's Open, the Olympic Club, and Jung and Lee 6. But how Lee 6 did it was remarkable.
Yeah, it's just not easy to play under major championship pressure with a 5-shot lead. Everybody expects you to win. You expect yourself to win. And when things start going sideways, you get tight and tense, and we saw that from Lee 6 today. But the way she battled back, even to just get into this playoff, she has to be proud of herself, because she showed a lot of heart on the back 9 today.
It's for par. This is going to tie the largest comeback in women's major championship history, 7. Patty Sheehan did it. I think in 1983. Kari Webb, the idol, Minji Lee, in 2006. This for eagle. She's got 3 putts to become a major champion. Aussie rules. Minji Lee, with a comeback for the ages, is finally a major champion. She wins the 2021 Amundi Evian Championship.
It's like go on,
And Tom Abbott is with our champion.
Wow, Minji, what a finish. You've been doused in champagne and Evian, but that shot will remain in a lot of people's minds, that second shot in the playoff. I know it's going to remain in your mind. Talk us through that second shot.
Yeah, I had like 173 meters into the pin and, you know, a little bit of adrenaline. I actually said 5-iron, but Gilly said 6, so thank you to Gilly. I hit 6-iron and it was really close. So, yeah, no, I'm really happy.
You start the day 7 shots back. When today did you start to think you had a chance of winning a major?
You know, I never really thought about it, you know, when I was playing. I just tried to make as many birdies as I could. You know, I think I saw the leaderboard like maybe once or twice. I just try to play the best to my ability, and you know, it's really great to win a major. Yeah, it's just really amazing.
Your brother is a winner on the European Tour. I know you're going to head back.
Spin for the brother-sister duo of Minji Lee and Minwoo Lee. Minji Lee now a major champion, winning the Amundi Evian Championship.